Okinawa is eclectic, okay? You like that word? Eclectic. It took me a while trying to find the exact right word to describe this place, because if I'm being honest, I have never been anywhere in my entire life that is anything like Okinawa, Japan. And truly, it was much more eclectic than I could ever have imagined. My name is Josh, and I am a digital nomad who lives in a different country every single month. Join me as I share the most colorful, unusual, and fun activities I experienced while exploring the largest island in Japan's southernmost prefecture, Okinawa. First, let's talk about what I thought Okinawa was going to be like, okay? Because, maybe you're like me on this. In my head, Okinawa was like Hawaii in the United States, or maybe even Jeju Island in South Korea, a relaxing and beautiful island beach resort known primarily for its comfort with the option for cultural experiences if that's what you're looking for. A place to zone out, refresh, and restart. And I mean, you can't blame someone for thinking that. If you go to Okinawa's official website, that's literally what they're selling. I mean, look at how dreamy this looks. And you know what? They're not wrong. Okinawa is all of that. You absolutely can find all of that stuff on Okinawa. But as someone who has spent a solid week there and tried to get to know the real Okinawa, Resort Town is absolutely not Okinawa's singular defining trait. Okay, so then what are its defining traits? Well, I'm glad you asked. I think that there are 3 of them, actually. Have you ever been on a date with someone that you met on a dating app? Their photos are pristine, very sophisticated, maybe he's wearing a suit or she's wearing a nice cocktail dress, and then you meet the person and you get to know them, and they're the biggest weirdo you've ever met in your entire life? Okay, that's Okinawa, okay? Okinawa is weird as hell, but not in a creepy way. That part is important. Well, mostly not creepy, anyway. No, Okinawa is weird in a truly endearing and lovely way. You'll notice it right away as soon as you land and start walking down Naha City's famous Kokusaidori Street. Kokusaidori is sort of the primary commercial tourism center of the island. It is the gateway to the rest of Okinawa. You can find endless souvenir shops and cafes and restaurants all along this easy to traverse sort of main street area. Along Kokusaidori, you'll see right away some of Okinawa's quirkiest traits. Firstly, you'll notice these little shisas everywhere, and I love these so much because they show both the personality and culture of the area all at once. A shisa is a combination of a lion and a dog. They're protectors and are almost always sold as partners in a set of 2. One has its mouth open to scare away evil spirits. Meanwhile, the other keeps its mouth closed in order to hold in all the good fortune. Unlike statues in most places, these are usually painted to be super bright and super colorful, and they're designed to be so freaking cute, I can't stand it. Another very eclectic trait of Okinawa is this fever dream of a real-life place known as Pineapple Park. You might be thinking, what do you mean Pineapple Park? Like a theme park of pineapples? Yes, a theme park of pineapples. Literally exactly that. Except they also have dinosaurs. Its full name is Nago Pineapple Park, and it's a little over an hour drive away from Naha City itself. Is this place really meant for kids? Who can say? Regardless, I visited as part of a large group tour, and even as a fully grown adult, I had a great day spending time with the pineapples. The highlight is that you get to ride around in this self-driving pineapple car. I guess it's supposed to be like you're going on some kind of a pineapple safari. I literally got one entirely to myself, which made me way more excited than it should have. I don't really drive in real life, so I really enjoyed getting to pretend to drive around Pineapple Park hunting for wild pineapple in the brush like a pineapple badass. Pineapples! Once you finish the ride itself, you can walk around the area and see a good bit of lovely plant life and butterflies. Very cute. It's almost kind of like a greenhouse space in a way. That said, none of it tops the Pinosaur exhibit, okay? You heard me right. Pinosaur. Like pineapple / dinosaur. Okay, I guess just imagine if a dinosaur and a pineapple tree fell together into a radioactive pit and fused into one sentient being, okay? That's a Pinosaur. I want one of these in my house. My visit to Pineapple Park was so fun and so very eclectic. I couldn't stop smiling. Like, how did I end up here? But truly, this is all just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more. If I listed all the quirky characteristics of Okinawa, it would take all day. But I do want to also quickly mention that the music that comes from Okinawa is absolutely unique. It's hard to describe, but it's kind of folksy, but with this high-pitched sort of yipping sounds. It's absolutely unlike anything else in the world, for sure. And one last eclectic thing I'll mention here is Spam, because Spam and Okinawa go absolutely hand in hand. And yes, I do mean that Spam. Okinawans absolutely love Spam. I'll talk about this in greater detail in my next video when I'll discuss the food in Okinawa, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that. But for now, just know that the reason that Okinawans love Spam springs from another one of Okinawa's unique traits, its historical connection to the United States. One thing that makes mainland Japan so unique is that unlike many other places in the world, it has never been formally colonized. The Portuguese and other nations certainly tried, but ultimately they failed. And while this topic is very nuanced and my channel is not a history channel, the same is essentially not true for Okinawa. Okinawa itself was originally part of the Ryukyu Kingdom and was incorporated into Japan in the late 19th century. And then again after World War II and all the way up until 1972, the United States occupied and administered the lands of Okinawa and built up a huge number of military bases in the area. And while administration is not precisely the same thing as colonization, it is similar. And Okinawa is truly one of the only places you'll find in Japan where you can really see this kind of everyday fusion of cultures in action. You'll see it in their love for Spam, as I previously mentioned, which comes from the US military introducing Spam as a cheap option for the locals. You'll see it in various relics on the island, such as army post offices or products for sale promoting US military services. But maybe more than anything else, you see it in a place called the American Village. The American Village is located in Chatan, which is a portion of Okinawa formerly most known for its collection of US military bases. The American Village was originally created to boost tourism and sort of represent the history of the US presence on Okinawa. And honestly, if we can put all of the dark history elements aside, this is also very eclectic. I mean, just look at this place. This is the definition of kitsch. It is literally a colorful, lit up, tiny piece of the good old US of A right in the heart of Okinawa Island. This feels like America World in Disney's Epcot. I ultimately spent hours here, pretty much like a whole day. And as cheesy as it is, and it is, it's still very beautiful and fun. It's right along the water, so you can sit and watch people surf. You can shop at retro-style California surf shops. You can eat a pizza and burgers and drink beer. I actually ordered myself a bowl of taco rice here for dinner, which is literally just taco ingredients on top of a bowl of rice. It's the perfect fusion dish. While on the surface, this may not appeal to everyone, I think if you look at it from the viewpoint of Japanese cultural fusion being something that's pretty rare, it's super cool and very interesting. For me, these first two elements, the weirdness and the foreign influence, are what I think of first when I recall my time in Okinawa. But there are others, and while they may be a little less unique to this island particularly, they are nonetheless stunning and important and absolutely worth visiting for. Islands in this part of the world, regardless of the cultural identity of the people who live on them, have incredible nature, and Okinawa is no different. This is the part of Okinawa's personality that's a little more refined and expected. The cocktail dress, the double-breasted suit. But just like any interesting person, Okinawa is nuanced and well-rounded. Both sides are genuine, and we love to see it. One of the most famous and more typical sights you can see on Okinawa is the Churaumi Aquarium. Now, mileage when it comes to aquariums will vary from person to person. Broadly, I'm usually not a huge fan of them and tend to stay away. That said, this one in particular has a couple things about it which are really spectacular. Firstly, there are these dolphin shows that are super impressive. These dolphins will flip for you, they will dive for you, they'll clap for you, they'll even fight off some glowing ghouls, Scooby-Doo style. Very impressive. On the inside, the most famous display is this enormous tank featuring an actual whale shark. The tank itself has nearly 2 million gallons of waters, which is bonkers bananas. Of course, there are other displays here too, but to be honest, they pale in comparison to this. I decided to stop in and visit the cafe overlooking the mega tank, because in addition to seeing the whale shark, I really wanted to try this whale shark shaped curry. Now, you're not eating whale shark, okay? Just to be clear, this is just the shape of the curry. I had to wait for quite a while until my number was called, but ultimately I made it in, and yes, this was worth it. Clearly, I am 12 years old, but at this point I've made peace with that. Aside from just the animals on display here, there's so much more nature to explore in Okinawa. Many people go there to surf and to scuba dive, or to visit amazing caves and to see beautiful waterfalls. I didn't personally have time for any of that on this visit, but I did get to see Cape Manzamo, which is this gorgeous view of a rock formation in the western part of the island. Just something about this combination of colors and shapes is so pleasing to the eye. I don't even know what it is, but it's so beautiful and fun to look at. The whole island truly is so beautiful and fun. Everything you do, whether it's as serious as taking a look at an ancient Ryokun castle from the 15th century, or as silly as an animatronic Pinosaur at a pineapple theme park, Okinawa is unique. It is eclectic. It is a blast, and it is true. Okinawa is absolutely not what you think. It's way weirder, and honestly, it is much, much better.